we have started to take the first reading. I have injected the current and see how much current we have to pass. Here you can see in the tongue tester, I have to pass 36 ampere of I have to pass 160 ampere of current. At present it is 60, and I have to pass 160 ampere. So see, this is gradually increasing. So we have to pass 160 ampere. Timer is already on. Okay, timer is already on. After some time MCCB will trip. So this is 160 ampere. See, 160 ampere is passed. Okay, and now this MCCB will trip. See, timing is already elapsed. 39 seconds has gone. Okay, so see, MCCB will trip now after some time, and as soon as MCCB trips, we have to switch off the supply. We have passed 160 ampere current.
नाही किती वेळ मग 1 मिनिट झालं
हो दे
स्टॉपचं बटन वेगळं आहे
So see, MCCB is tripped. Okay, so I have to switch off the supply. So see, MCCB has tripped and it has occupied the middle position. So this is the trip position. So which tells that the MCCB has tripped. Now for this 160 ampere current, the tripping time which we obtain is 1 minute and 9 seconds. So that means 69 seconds is the tripping time for 160 ampere of current we got for our first reading. Okay, so we'll note down that in the observation table. So this is 160 ampere first reading and we got 69 seconds. So I will write here 69 seconds. So this is our first reading. Now for the second reading we have to pass 80 into 2.5, that is 200 ampere current, and we want to note down the tripping time. So as you know what is going to happen, as this current go on increasing, the tripping time will go on decreasing gradually. So for the second reading we will get lesser time. For the third reading we will get further lesser time. So we can conclude from that as the current increases, the tripping time of MCCB decreases. Okay, so let us wait for 10 minutes and then we will take the second reading. Okay, second reading. So for this we have to pass 200 ampere current, and at the same time we have to start the timer. But before that, you can see for the first reading, when MCCB trips, it has taken the middle position. So from this middle position, if you go to on, it is not going because interlocking is there. So from middle position we have to come compulsory to off position, and now from this off I will go to on directly. So now MCCB is made in on position, and for this now we have to pass 200 ampere current. So I will switch on the supply. Supply is switched on. So now I will switch on the MC start push button. So start push button is switched on, and at the same time the start push button is switched on, I have start the timer, and now I will inject the current. So how much current we have to inject? We have to inject 200 ampere current. So here you can see in the tongue tester the current which we have to inject is 200. Now it is 170, 140, 60, 200. Okay, so 200 ampere current I have passed. It is 200. Okay, 198 or 200, and the timer is still on. See, 200 ampere, this is 28. So 28 is not true, 200 ampere is true in the tongue tester. Timer is on 38 seconds. Now it will trip. So you see, so I will stop the timer. So I got 42 seconds for the second reading, and see, MCCB is in the trip position. So for the second reading, when we pass 200 ampere current, the time required to trip the MCCB is 42 seconds. Okay, so we'll note down this 42 seconds in the observation table. So I will write down here 42 seconds. Now third reading we have to pass 240 ampere current, and for which we have to note down again the tripping time, which will be further less than 42 seconds we will get. Okay, so we'll wait for 10 minutes and we'll take the third through this MCCB. So again this MCCB is in trip position, so I will make it off, and then from off I will make it to on. Right, now this is in on position. So I will switch on the supply for the kit, and now we have to inject how much? 240 ampere current through this. Okay, so I will switch on this supply. So yes, supply is switched on. So now we have to pass 240 ampere of current through this. and I will start the timer also. Timer is started. Now I will inject 240 ampere of current. So you can see here I have set now 140, 160, 200 and 240. So I have passed 240 ampere current. You can see over here 240 ampere current is passed. Now MCCB will trip. See, timer is there. MCCB will trip. Yes, MCCB is tripped, and here I will stop the timer. This is 28 seconds. Okay, so 28 seconds I have got for the third reading. So I will note down this third reading over here, 28 seconds. So for 28 seconds I will got my third reading. So in this way I got 69 seconds for 160 ampere, 42 seconds for 200 ampere and 28 seconds for 240 ampere after injecting current through the MCCB. Now you have to plot this characteristic, the current on x-axis versus time on y-axis, and then you have to plot these 3 points 160, 200, 240 corresponding to that 3 timings you have to plot, and this curve will be inverse in shape. So as current increases, tripping time decreases, and as usual again when you plot 2 tangents, one parallel to current axis, one parallel to time axis, here you will get the you will get here the pickup current, and here you will get the saturation time. As we have seen in case of MCCB, same will be in case of MCCB also as in MCB. Okay, so likewise you have to plot the characteristic, and in this way you can see again this is putting in the middle position, so trip position after passing 240 ampere of current, right? So in this way we have completed this experiment of testing of